Alright, so Final Fantasy VI. We're gonna play through it. I am armed to play flute. If you'll recall last time... Oh man, do I want to do this again? We played this. We played this last time, but it's so good! Ha! Never mind. That's usually when I would have the flute come in here. I haven't actually ever done a cover of the Prelude. Maybe I should. Maybe I should get a pianist friend to play those arpeggios and I do everything else. Yeah, so last time we dipped our toes in Sabin's adventures. Oops. Let's see if we get this. Ah, we did! Okay. Yeah, so I think that's a good point, Stolen Light. They are making a big point with Sabin's, why did Cyan freeze? Did I accidentally have him defend? I had him defend, didn't I? I wonder what he was gonna do, because I didn't remember entering anything. Clearly I put defend. Oh well. I need to get some meat, right? So they're being really intentional about pairing tragedy and comedy, kind of going with comic relief. Because Sabin himself, so I was talking the last time, no, one of these times, I've talked about how I really like Edgar because his like goofy playboy king is kind of a front. Where he's also very serious about being a king and taking good care of his people and taking that role really seriously. Sabin, I love Sabin. Bless his heart, though, he's not the brainiest boy and not the most serious boy either. So, okay, I just turned up my volume a little bit. So Sabin himself is an inherently comedic character. He doesn't understand the drama that goes on. Like, he doesn't understand. Oh no, he obviously doesn't understand blitzes. No, that's Lauren. Lauren doesn't understand blitzes. But no, he's... I'm sorry, Gao. I'm sorry, I don't have any food for you, buddy. I can't run away from you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to hit you because I don't know any other way to do this. Oh no! Gao's like, why are you doing this? Sorry, Gao. Yeah, I mean, Sabin does solve problems, but he solves them by throwing himself at things. He doesn't understand a lot. He's not quite as dumb as fans make him out to be. Like, he's not a big dummy-dumb, but he's not the brightest, and he doesn't think too deeply about things. So he's definitely come to a greater understanding of the world and himself in his time studying under Master Vargas. No. Vargas is the son. Duncan. Studying under Master Duncan. No, I'm sorry, Gao. Sorry, Gao. I do think he's kind of used to filling that role. And in a way, you kind of can't help but feel like... Wait. Can I go here? No. Where is... Okay, maybe it's not here. Maybe it's farther down. He probably does give great hugs. Yes, no. Sabin and Scorpia from the new She-Ra would be friends. They would be friends. Why am I fighting ghosts? I'm fighting ghosts. I'm gonna set you guys on Aurabolt. I know that Chrono really likes Scorpio, so I said that for him. It's also true. Kronk is adorable. Yeah, well, and just like Kronk is actually not stupid. He's really not. The game, not the game, the show, movie, that's a movie, kind of plays him like he's the ultimate himbo, but he actually kind of like gets things. I'm sorry, Cow. But Sabin isn't a total dummy dumb. But he doesn't think of himself as being a thinker, and especially I think when he's around Edgar. I don't think Edgar has given him, like, I mean, I think that Edgar has protected him, or at least protected him when they were kids, especially because they talk about how, you know, they talk about Sabin being like a scrawnier kid, and he's clearly really confused about things. He doesn't understand that their father is dying, let alone that their father is being poisoned by the Empire, and therefore wasting away, which I don't remember when it says that, but it does say that at some point. And Sabin is he shows a little bit more emotional intelligence and intelligence in general when he is talking to Vargas. And he's trained martial arts with a master, which kind of indicates a certain degree of deeper thought. But by and large, he's now, to be fair, he's not punching the 13-year-old boy. Cyan is using his dispatch ability on a 13-year-old boy. Is Gal 13? I thought he was 11, or maybe it was Realm 11? They're both pretty young, but Realm is younger, I believe. Yeah, Cyan is punching him in the face with a sword, like you do. Also, hi, Mixing Metaphor Soup. Well, I'll do my best to provide good background conversation. Realm is 10? Okay. Then is Gao 11? Ieto, I know that name from Dungeon Master. I don't know what that actually references. Okay, Gao is Gowern forever. Anyway, giving Sabin some of the most directly tragic story bits in the entire game, and this is a melodramatic, dramatic, and tragic game. Giving Sabin's scenario most of that, or a significant chunk of that, is a really interesting decision because Sabin is this character who's intentionally kind of a goofy himbo, which is such a great term. And yes, you can have female himbos because a himbo's not exactly the same as a bimbo. I don't know. This is one of those like relatively new archetypal terms, so we're still kind of filling it out. But to keep the situation with Cyan from bogging the story down too much, because genocide by poison is pretty big. And digging into Cyan's emotional loss and trauma and the situation with the Phantom Train, that's heavy. It really is. But in the middle of that, we have Sabin wolfing down the Phantom Train's food. We have Gao himself is kind of a mixture of comedy and a tiny bit of seriousness. I would say that they're dumb. They're not necessarily stupid, but they're dumb, if that makes sense. But I don't even have my window open. There's just a lot of light coming through there. But like, if the amount of tragedy that we encounter in Sabin's scenario were in Locke's scenario, given Locke's predisposition toward melodrama and tragedy to begin with, I love Locke. But he's a really dramatic boy. So can you imagine Locke falling all over himself with the tragedy of not being able to save Doma? Can you imagine like Locke crying himself to sleep seeing Cyan's suffering? It's just gonna be sad, 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 and more sad. And Terra, frankly, Terra's story centers around Terra. She is the main character of the first half, and there's not really room with Terra to fit in the amount of tragedy and horror of Cyan and Doma. Plus, we see part of Kefka's evilness with Terra. Other people need to experience Kefka's evilness too. I mean, he like basically tortured Terra and mind controlled her to commit war crimes. So that's pretty terrible and awful. So it makes a lot of narrative sense to have that section be with Sabin, both mood-wise, because he can kind of balance it out and keep it from being too heavy, because this is a game for children, like it is. In this era, most games could be assumed to be played by kids largely, and when you were making something that Nintendo of America was going to be touching, like, you can't swear, you can't say dead, you can't show blood. So Sabin helps keep some levity there, and it's really kind of back and forth. I think it's a little bit of tonal whiplash. I don't think I ever really noticed how strong the tonal whiplash was at the time, partly because the way the graphics are, and like, I don't know, because it's a thing that bothers me sometimes, having that kind of tonal whiplash, especially like something that I struggle with some anime. Yes, that's true, Blue Glass, which is part of why they couldn't have brought over Terra Enigma. Terra Enigma was just a great big Nintendo of America says no. Yeah. See, that's foreshadowing, because carrier pigeons are important in this game. I don't know why I did this. I just did. Well, we'll talk about Kefka's final form when we can take a look at it. In the meantime, I'm accidentally staying at the end. Yes, we talked to you. This is Mobla's, correct? Now, Mobla's is where... because Miranda is where that girl is from. Not gonna get that. Not gonna get that. Oh, sure. Sure, I mean, what else am I gonna do with all this money? Bat power. You know where my brain goes with that. Yes, so this is, oh, this is, right, Mobla's, that's Terra's town. Not Miranda, that's where, Lola lives. Oh, hey, Will. I was glad to catch up with you a bit this morning. Keep me posted on how you're doing. Oh, is this better? Oh, this is better for, like, everybody. Oh, man, let's get some of that. What else am I gonna do with my money? Sabin's second best weapon? Really? Why so? Can't use that. You can only use little bitty shields. Like, 'cause it's hard to punch. You can't really punch with a heavy shield. You can, like, see shield smash, but that doesn't really seem like Sabin's style. Oh, what? It lowers speed? I don't know. I've never paid any attention to secondary stats. I just look to see if the little pointy thing goes up. you're right. This totally is okay. Sorry. Woof. Oh man, Zozo. Oh, Zozo's hard. I have a really hard time with Zozo. Not as hard as the floating continent because, like, the floating continent. Although it turns out if you just mash the attack button and hold it down, you can get through the floating continent. Then they place this guy right outside the item shop. And if you're doing what you should be doing and talking to everybody, because this is in the era of please talk to people in town, then you're like, oh, there's a kid. They've talked about the kid. They've talked about the food. This is where I buy the food. Let's buy the food. Eat when hungry. Notice it doesn't have any other use. Yeah, I was really surprised, Will. I don't know if I'll remember it this time, but it's in at like 4:13 for... I actually have it written down in an old sketchbook. I should get out my old sketchbooks at some point and show you guys some of my old Final Fantasy VI fan art. Maybe we'll redraw the bridge scene for the 4th time. 6:10:50. Yes, Will, you're right. I think I would have noticed. I think I would have remembered that as I was looking through the options. But yes, no, that's correct. Good job. Oh, you could run from everything on the floating continent. That's also a valid option, but also mashing the attack button helps a lot. Oh my god. Where are my sketchbooks? Are they in there? That we could do this. The scene on the bridge I have drawn since this game was new, so I can show you middle school Lauren's art. Oh wait, does it heal too? I have 25 of those. I probably don't need more. I think I'm doing okay as far as stuff goes. I like never use Realm anyway. Hello. No, tell me all about it. It plays cool music. Yeah, but I don't love her. Do I seem like the kind of player who min-maxes my character's stats? Do I? Really? I keep Locke in my party at every possible opportunity, okay? So, anyway, are you gonna make a bird noise? You make a bird noise! I'm just saying, oh hey, these are the children! They get yelled at, or no. Yeah, this is, okay, that's why I have the association with, Miranda. See? This is why I was like, but wait, there's the carrier pigeons, and I swear that Mobla's is where that thing is happening. Okay, no, you can't break the game by looking at it. That's Secret of Mana. This game isn't quite that bad. Injured lad. Lad is such an interesting word choice, you know? See, here's an interesting bit of development about the Empire. And again, they don't dwell on this. So if you're like a little kid, you don't necessarily quite get what's happening here. They're conscripting people into service from the places that they invade. And we've seen them beat up Celis as a deserter. I mean, they were going to execute her. And then you see this guy has done the same thing, and he's like mortally wounded. Yeah. A little bit of foreshadowing. Will you read it? Yes. Yeah, I guess using lad does emphasize that he's young. Like, he's not a man. He's a young man. He's a teenager. He's not quite a boy, but he's probably younger than one would like to think of. fighting in war. So... Well, didn't they just forget to turn on one of the stats, like magic defense? Or something? Although, to be fair, Dark Souls also has a useless stat, and that game came out much more recently. Yeah, no, he's definitely young. So here you're reading, it doesn't quite make it clear immediately when he's like, could you read that letter? He's saying, could you read that letter out loud to me because I cannot get up and read that letter. See, like, this is such a sweet little humanizing thing. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry you don't make it. I'm sorry that life is hard and bad in this game. Okay, so magic defense is the thing that's good, and regular evasion is the thing that's not good. Okay. This is later the bed that What's-Her-Face gives birth in, right? Katarina. Dwayne and Katarina, right? There they are. Oh. I thought it was Katarina. Why is it Katarina in my head? 16 and in love. That's right, this game features teen pregnancy. Okay, so it's Katarine. Okay. That woman did it wrong. Does he have a full side quest? I don't remember that. So yes, let's do it. Or maybe it's here, I don't know. Huh. What am I doing here? What is this side quest thing? Are we waiting for him to die? Ah, okay. I don't remember this at all. This is why it is a good thing. I didn't write a letter. Oh, talk to the carrier pigeon guy. Thanks, guys. I don't remember this. I actually don't know if my sister and I did this. So I don't know that I knew that this existed. Well, let's do it. Carrier pigeon, cool. How do I send a letter on behalf of my friend? Oh, there's a pigeon house. I should go into the pigeon house. The house with the pigeons on it. Hello. Send it. I am at your service. Ah, this is where everyone hides out in the basement. I knew there was a basement here. Hello, dude lurking around weirdly in the basement. You see how he like walked backwards while talking to me? Gracefulness. Yes! Clock elixir. I'm glad to know that that continues. Okay, so we're gonna go stay in the back of this room. The back room of this place. God, looking at the buildings in this game makes me think of playing Legos, because I would play Legos while my sister played the games, and then we would like play Lego games that were kind of inspired by the games that we were playing. So especially games like Breath of Fire, where I was interested but not as invested as, for example, this game. That's what I would spend my time doing. Oh, I believe in you, friend. Maybe I've done this before. I've probably done this before. My memory is terrible and it's gotten worse. But yeah, like, that's why I don't remember the plot as well. Hey, what's up, Justin? Also, hello, Hot Brushings. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be streaming during the days on Wednesdays, which is fun for me, and hopefully fun for people who don't usually get to, join us, in person. Okay. I'm sorry, friend. I'm really sorry he doesn't make it. Like, it's a nice little bit of establishing that, like, the human cost of war, which tends to be something that I think of, Suikoden-wise, not necessarily Final Fantasy VI, but I love Sabin's little mullet rat tail. No, I'm not gonna fight the bombs. I'm not gonna fight the bombs. Why would I fight bombs? No, run. Oh, Cyan, you're so old. Apparently that's why Cyan. Yes, steal Cyan's magic. Do it. Take all of it. This isn't Star Ocean. I don't have to worry about dying because you stole my magic and it's down to 0. Oh my god, magic death, MP death. Still going is the best name. Oh my god, I'm in the scary undead pyramid trapped place in Twilight Princess, and I got to a room that like had the spinny traps like Prince of Persia style, and also a lot of bugs, and I was just like, you know, maybe I'll just shut down for the night. Okay, Justin, don't make fun of me. This is Z-SNES. Because it's the emulator I've been using since high school, and it's the emulator I'm going to continue using forever. So there's your little blast from the past. Not even SNES 9X. Or whatever else the kids these days are using. Yes, I did nope out of that game. Oh no, friend. Oh, why am I so bad at using D-pads? Somebody reassure me that the Xbox wired controller has a really bad D-pad and that it's not me, it's the D-pad. I think it's a great emulator, but it's also the only one I can consistently get to use properly. The thing to do to make words are hard. Yeah. You know, it's funny though, as much as I love this game for its melodrama and tragedy, it surprises me on this replay how tragic just how tragic it is. Like, no, but Will, it's been a thing that's okay. So sorry guys if I'm referring to people in chat by names that aren't the names they use. Square Wave is my bandmate Justin, who plays drums, and Shooter is my old friend Will from college. So, or excuse me, from university. Now I'm in Canada, I have to make that distinction. Oh, so you go shopping. Okay. Alright. Look, the Sega Master System is really old. We can cut it some slack. I think I gave my Master System to my sister. Ah! You were totally right, Stolen Light. Thank you. Oh... That's right, we've got phonograph recorder thingies. Oh. So he's paralyzed. They beat him so badly he's paralyzed and dying. I don't think I fully, like, I don't think that this sort of thing necessarily fully registers. Send it. Man, I love Kids Run Through the City Corner. It's one of my favorite songs in the whole soundtrack. Of course, if you listen to me, like, everything's my favorite song in the soundtrack. But it's really got a very, like, Williams/Wagnerian use of motifs for characters that I think is part of what's so good about it. Oh no, Will, are you impersonating Justin? Yeah, I imagine stolen light. Thank you for looking that up for me. Oh no! See, and this is not just showing like the tragedy of our poor deserter soldier here, but indicating kind of how bad things are for back home, which is not possessed, occupied, possessed. It's the same thing, really. So you're really feeling the, you can, oh, we're sending tonic! Okay, we just sent tonic. Oh, that's great, I don't remember that. I don't remember any of this. This is good. I mean, I know I've seen this before. Possessed by the Empire. I mean, really, the Empire is a curse. Oh man, let's read this letter. Yes. I thought we were writing letters back. Is she not getting the letters? Is she not getting the tonics? I guess not. Wow, I feel like this is like all new for me. Is it just me or did the game just get... You know, hold on. I think it's a bit stuttery. We're gonna close out, free up some resources for my computer. Oops. Oh no. Yeah, that seems to be a little less stuttery. Maybe not, actually. I think it's probably something else that I'm doing wrong. Or it may be OBS, or maybe that my computer's overheating. Computer, are you overheating? That might be it. Let me make sure my heater is off. My heater is off. Well, okay, so I am a total sucker for Rebellion Against the Evil Empire story. Between this game and Star Wars, I am in the same boat. Oh. Because, I mean, empires are pretty evil, but, being a sucker for a story about this, oh, right. Let me go back here. They do really, like, you really do get to know these two. Wait, why am I staying in the inn? Not the inn, the thing. I don't know, but I'm sleeping in it. I'm sleeping in your bed, sir. I'm sleeping in your bed. She is getting the letters, yeah. Yes, empires and viziers are not to be trusted. Oh, that's really good, as I understand it. You can put that up in the Colosseum, right? Oh man, I'm gonna have to consult you guys on what to do with the banquet. So does that mean I've finished this story for now? I guess I have. Huh. So there, how's that for humanizing the war, the conflict, the cost of the empire on the world? Because I don't know, I assume I've talked about this on this stream or not, but if I haven't, then I'm gonna talk about it. And even if I haven't, I'm gonna talk about it again. Ha! What? Lauren, not talk? Don't be ridiculous. No, if you want to drive something home, and this, oh, I did talk about this. I did talk about this because Cyan is an example of it. Again, yes, I think I did. I think I bought meat. Didn't I buy meat? Oh God, I need to like sort through my stuff. It's all a mess. I did. Yes. Yes. One death is a tragedy, 1,000 deaths is a statistic. And that's very true. Yeah. It's just kind of funny to just dig through everything. And I think that they do a good job with this here because it is an incredibly tragic game. All of the characters pretty much have some degree of major personal tragedy. That's why I like it so much. But also the world experiences major tragedy. So Mobliz is a great example of that because all the adults die and it's just a bunch of kids and teenagers desperately trying to survive in a poisoned, toxic world. The fact that when you go to the world of Ruin, they're like when some of the first enemies that you fight there, if you wait, they just expire. Just because everything is poisoned and the world is dying. Such an interesting way of bringing, or like kind of making that register. Yeah, no, and Tara has to kind of figure out what she's doing. God, it's such a tragic game. I love it so much. Gal, where are you? Where are you, buddy? Okay. Whisper was the name of the cat I had when this game came out. But her name was spelled without an H. Gal! Gal, child! No, Blue Glass, we are pointedly not going to save Sid because the story is vastly more effective and I think canonically it makes the most sense for Sid not to survive. I have actually very strong opinions on this subject. I think it's super cool that you can save Sid. I think that's a fantastic Easter egg for your second playthrough in the game. Be like, whoa, I can save him? But it doesn't really change much, but it's satisfying. Blitz. Bum ba dum ba dum bum. Yeah, and it's hard to, you know, the first time experience is definitely. No, I'm not getting any other rages. I don't use Gao. Sorry. I don't use Gao. I don't use Realm. Expect them to sit in the back of my party and get carried by how overpowered my 4 characters of choice become. But really, honestly, like... Oh, that does sound nice, Chrono. Item. I can use Gao. Yes, the censorship around the cliff scene is super interesting, and I didn't understand what the cliff scene was when I was a kid. See, I know when I was a child, I really liked Gao, and I really liked Realm. As an adult with no sense of humor, they're kind of wasted on me. Like, comic scenes aren't really my thing. And aside from Kafka, I tend not to think that the humor here is necessarily super funny. Regular munchkin. Why hasn't that taken off as an insult? And then they're just like tussling. I know, but like, Munchkin in role-playing circles isn't like fans of this game. Oh my god. Wiry little kid. Savin, he's a child. I imagine that science dialogue was less absurd in Japanese because the that's not honorifics. Honorifics are what you append to someone's name to show respect. The way of speaking. What's the word I'm looking for? Formality. The level of formality makes more sense in a language where there are different ways of speaking based on level of formality. And there are ways of getting across levels of formality in English, but it's not as pronounced as in, say, French or Japanese, where the way that you speak is like with like a different not conjugation. But it is true that, like, if he's using a particularly formal form of you, that this is the way to get that across. Oh my god, he's so obnoxious. We can't have you two prancing around all day. Originally, thou was informal, yes, but that's flipped. So. One thing that I love here in my heart is we have the dad who's lost his family, including his son, and the younger brother who's never really been able to be the responsible older one in his familial relationships, but who has previously the closest relationship in his life was a brotherly relationship. They are the ones who wind up with little bro. So Cyan kind of winds up with this like foster son character, the only eligible foster son character in the game, and Sabin winds up with a younger brother that he gets to be the big brother and experience being the big brother for, which I think is a really nice touch. Because again, if you were to put Gao and pair him with Locke, that's not Locke's story. Locke's story isn't that kind of a relationship. Locke's conflict has to do with Rachel and self-forgiveness and protection and being protected and all that kind of thing. And his significant relationships are very different. And Tara could mom Gao, but that's not really what Gao needs. That's not really what this is about. And Gao also isn't what Tara needs either. So the pairing of characters, and not in a romantic way, but the way that they team characters up is very intelligent. Yes, we're gonna go get shiny. Shiny, shiny! I remember that. Oh, it's so shiny. He's not a thief. Yeah, a bit, but that's not like... That's one of my biggest problems, and one of the biggest complaints people have about the World of Ruin is that because so much of it is optional, there's not really much room for characters to interact with one another and to interact with the scenes. And I think that is a narrative decision that they made. I wouldn't have made that narrative decision. There's great character moments, but not characters with each other moments. And that's really a shame, because I think that some of the moments in the World of Ruin are fantastic. I'm a huge fan of a lot of the stuff that happens there. Because boy, is it dramatic! So trying to show me the map. Sorry, I can't not sing along with this. Like, whatever, Sabin, you love it. I'm walking backwards. sorry. So is his sound supposed to be the call of a wolf? Is that what a wow is? You guys sound like you expect me to actually balance my party for the Battle of Narshe. I can try for you. I can try for your sakes. If you really want me to. I usually just have a couple of overpowered people and I just go kill everything with them. I don't have a mental, I don't have an impression of the Battle of Narshe being that bad. Bye, Corey, thanks for coming by. Why do I not think of that as being, I don't think of anything except like the floating continent is hard. The Tower of the Magi can be hard. Fighting some of the dragons in the World of Ruin is hard. Sealed Cave. Oh yeah, Sealed Cave is hard actually. Yeah, I would think I would have a hard time with, I don't know, which one of these is good? Oh yeah, let's be some armor. Like, I don't have any impression of the battle for Narshe as being hard the way I remember this, like, when you say Sealed Cave, I'm like, oh yeah, that is really hard. And like the floating continent. Oh, well, I don't min-max, so the Esper bonus is like, I usually have, I'm sorry, Sabin. I need to just get Fire Dance. Smoogle Charm don't run into combats. I'm a drum. No, I don't have Fire Dance already. I want Fire Dance. I need to get Fire Dance. I've had Fire Dance there. No, I want Blitz. Yeah. Like that's what I usually do, is have a really strong primary team and just go mow everyone down with them. You can do that. You can just walk every passageway. You don't have to have them come to your individual team. If you go to them. Stray Cat? Oh, I don't have Stray Cat. Right? Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I know, I was just remembering that blue glass. I'm thinking is the problem. I'm also waiting to see if we get bomb because everybody thinks I should get bomb. Yes, I did suplex the Phantom Train, which I'm told qualifies this as a speed run. So I'm very proud of that. Looking at the map. There it is. Okay. So I'd happily pick up Bomb while I'm at it, if Bomb had seen fit to show up. Actually, I think I talked to somebody who was involved with Brave New World. All right, here we go. Gau's looking around, trying to figure out where did I put the shiny thing. Gau's like, Gao, you know, I have never related more to you. I have started, not only do I have my Trello board where I write things down digitally, I've started putting things in here in my notebook and also reminders on my phone. Because, oh no, I can't go that way. What? Oh no. Oh no. Oh gosh, I do not remember my way around. Is this it? Did I accidentally do the right thing? No. Don't push me down. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's go exploring. Are there not bad guys in here? Ah. So I can't level up, right, with him? How do I? No, I don't, Chrono. Remind me. It's like, currents fast. Yes. Keep right. Okay, thank you. Bow, bow, wow, wow, wow. Okay. Look, just don't think too hard about it, guys. I'm glad to know that everybody is having the same problems with this section. Everyone's like, What is it, child? Oh, he's scared. Oh. So it keeps to the right. I love this song. I was really sad it doesn't play much in the game. I'm trying to remember where else it plays besides the Serpent Trench. Ah, thank you, Stolen Light. Maybe we'll do that. Which one? Rhinotaur. I thought you could get Mog's Dance somewhere else. I don't remember where. Oh geez. That didn't go so well. I should probably heal my party. Well, we're gonna die and start this over because I didn't heal before we went there. Sorry, folks. This is what happens when I talk and talk and talk and talk. Alright, let's heal our party. Party heal. Recover the wounded. Be not dead? Did I do it wrong? Oh, I did it wrong! No! Should I load my save? Should I load my save? We'll get my party killed anyway. No? Okay. An elixir? Okay. Anguiform. What? Okay. This time for real, Lauren. Go get the treasure chest. Oh, I guess I don't get to get the treasure chest, huh? I want the treasure chest! Okay, well, I guess I'll heal my party. I can't take the stairs! Oh, I can't take the stairs? Right? Because if I go in there, I go back into the water, right? It's not very well clear. Not... Ah! There we go. Do, 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 do. Aha! Got it. Take that, green bird. Oh, that's really good. Oh, I want to equip that on Sabin. That gives some extra HPs, right? No? What am I thinking of? What gives extra HPs? Yeah, no, I think that makes sense, mixing Metaphor Soup. Like, I think that's a really good point. Because it is kind of frustrating and weird to be like, everybody's dead, but we brought them back to life. Like, oh, this is Miranda, right? This is where Lola is. Hi, friend. Still need to shop. Oh, this is Nikia. Okay. The shopping town, right? Oh, 13. Okay, he's 13. So there's Gao's backstory. If you don't talk to that person, you're missing out. Oh my god. Oh my god. Licentious Howler, that's such good dialogue! Oh my god, Ted Woolsey has- this is honestly one of the most idiosyncratic translations I've ever seen. I love it. It's so weird. Like, he doesn't just, like, translate what people are saying. He puts his own really weird spin on it. And I assume My Ears Are Burning is a localization of, because I mean, like, Your Ears Are Burning is an idiom. I assume there's an equivalent Japanese idiom. Smashed. Hello, child. Oh, no, I didn't. What does Fairy Ring do? Oh yeah, no, Sabin is fantastic. Is he your favorite character, Kent? You sound awfully enthusiastic about him. Angaku Overdrive is Kent, who organizes really awesome concerts in the Florida Orlando area. That's totally how we say cities and states. So the really cool show that my band played at was that November? I think that was November because it was after I'd made my Terra costume. It was hosted by him. Okay, I don't need that. Have one of those. Dark isn't really useful, right? Dark doesn't do anything. Because Dark is blind and it doesn't do, like, literally does nothing in this game, right? Bye! I love that he says bye when you buy something. Like, just like, that's just silly. This game is silly. The translation is silly. All these lovingly detailed sprites. What are you selling, Mr. Aha? I guess this is the Super Nintendo version. I would say the Game Boy Advance changes the translation and in some ways probably makes more sense, but it also has a lot less, or at least it has somewhat less character to it. So I feel like, I know that they kept some of the most iconic lines or made variations on some of the old iconic lines, like son of a sandworm versus son of a submariner, which, in my opinion, a downgrade. Yeah, well, Setzer's translation in particular is kind of weird, as I understand it. I think that's fair, Chrono. I know in the case of the aria, the Super Nintendo version doesn't scan to the music, and is really unsingable. Now that's naturally the way that I sing it with my band anyway, but the Game Boy Advance translation of it is more poetic. It actually fits the meter of the song. Where was I going? Oh, yes, and it also has you ending on a lot of vowels that are easier to sing. So it's a much better choice musically, and my life would be much easier if I chose to sing this Game Boy Advance version. But this is the version that I know and love, and that's why we're playing this. Like, we could have played the Game Boy Advance version, and it might have been delightful. And it would be interesting for me to see the difference in the translation versus this version that I know and love. But since this wasn't a stream that I was expecting us to play long term, we started it so that I could ramble about the things that I love, which is much easier to do with the version of the game that I know and love. So, but I can't imagine the translation being copyrighted by not Square Enix, because they own the rights to the music too, don't they? I should probably buy more of these. Like, what else am I gonna do with my money, huh? You know? Should probably replace the one of these that I used with two, you know? I'm actually spending money. Gasp! Okay, hold on. Equip. Optimum. Optimum. Oh, Gao, don't be naked. Oh, interesting, Serious Ink. But they do keep some of his lines. There are some lines that are the same. I'm pretty sure Kefka talks the same way. I have heard so many arrangements of the aria. One of my favorites. Thanks, Chrono. No, I think that's fair, mixing metaphor soup. The Super Nintendo translations, the translation of, like, the Super Nintendo translation of 3 of 6 is not as bad as the one for 4, which leaves out entire sections of the story that would make the game make a lot more sense. But yeah, we can talk about some more of the differences if we'd like to. Like, we can talk about Setzer talking about war being bad for business, but instead they translate it as him being like this is good for business. Oh, I'll get the weapon shop on my way back. I just wanted to see. I really want to do a cover of this. My God, I love this song. I love it so much. I love it so much. Interesting, seriously. So perhaps what you're suggesting is that they might have selectively chosen which lines they thought were worth paying the fees for? Sabin, why am I so bad? Why am I so bad at this? Okay, so tell me about Ted Woolsey making stories coherent with stuff missing. Was he translating an incomplete version of the script? No, it's not Chrono. It's because they dive into the sand. It's not that random. I tried that. It didn't work. The problem is that I'm not very good at hitting left on the direction pad. I'm not gonna like accidentally stumble into the dinosaur island, am I? Ah, okay. I mean, literally, I know I wasn't literally gonna stumble into the dinosaurs, but like, figuratively. Yes, no, there's definitely translation issues. Well, and Square wasn't that big and established in the Super Nintendo era, right? It wasn't quite the behemoth that it is now. I mean, it was a big deal. It was successful. They'd had a number of... Yeah, no, mixing metaphor soup, it is interesting, yeah. And so the impression that you walk away with of Setzer is different. Yeah, no, Ted Woolsey is the reason why Kefka is far more popular in the US than he is in Japan, because in Japan his dialogue was not nearly that interesting. And now they've since used an equivalent of... Okay. Oh, that's right. Right. Devise a new blitz. Yes, which one did he get? In the new Japanese material, they use the American interpretation of Kefka's personality, right? It's kind of like in the fact that the released in US Super Mario Brothers 2 things from that have now worked their way into the official Mario universe, even in Japan, even though that game was not released as a Mario game in Japan, if I remember correctly. Yeah, no, I'm pretty early in the game. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and say a serious thing and say don't use the term have their way with it. Don't use that term. It makes me uncomfortable because of where the origin of that expression comes from and what it originally means. Let's use were-rat. All right, you're gonna be a rat man. That's okay. Just a thing I figured I would point out. Oh, I was going to check and see. Sorry, it's a problem with streaming and talking and being prone to distraction anyway. What did I get? Yay! It's the best! I wanted to get Fire Dance. I got Fire Dance. My favorite blitz. I love it so much. What's interesting is that a lot of the translations or things like that are not things you would understand as a child. Like, I had no idea what a grease monkey was. I had no idea what a repo man was when I was like 10. It's funny now that I'm a grown-up with an extended vocabulary and a better understanding of things like this. But back in the day, I had no idea what any of that was. Because it's not like it's like actually literally a monkey. If it was a monkey, I'd be like, oh, I get it. It's a monkey. It's a greasy monkey. But it's not a greasy monkey. It means a person who likes to work on cars. So. Clock elixir. It's a thing. Man, if I ever have a clock, I should put elixirs. I should tell my sister, because she has a house now. I should tell her she should get a wall clock and put an elixir in it. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Oh, Bum Rush is really good too. Yeah, people were suggesting that that Mash is a nickname, because Mash is it's an awfully silly name, but he mashes people with his fists. I mean, Cayenne and Cyan both are words that have meanings outside of his name. So it, I don't know, it's questionable either way. And Tara was Tina, and we know that is because they wanted a name that sounded exotic, but Tina doesn't sound exotic in English, so Tara does more. Should I sleep? Good mattress! Okay, well, he sold it like that. I mean, I guess he's more blue than he is spicy. Blink. Oh yeah, the Dream Stooges. What is up with that? Why are they the Stooges? I don't know. Nobody knows. We don't know. Hello. I never understood that as a kid. Okay, the weapon shop here doesn't have anything. Fell to the Empire. Guys, I mean, I guess it did fall, but usually when people say that this fell to something, that implies an invasion, not like they were entirely wiped out. I don't think I ever played that part in the, and I must have, because I played through Game Boy Advance version. Oh my god, the Magus sisters. That lady's not very nice to me. Is the implication that these are prostitutes as they're hanging out there? Or are they just ladies? I guess they're just ladies. Yes, we had to go outside and get fire dance. Sandy, Cindy, and Mindy. Oh man, that reminds me. When I was a little kid in elementary school, we had this thing where you could write a book and they would like bind it with like a cardboard and wrapping paper cover thing. So it was like, but it felt like it was like actually kind of a book. And the first story that I had, I was kind of a test case. They let me be a test case for that. I guess they were supporting me being a story writer even back when I was in like 4th grade. But I wrote a story that had characters Sandy, Cindy, Mindy, and their little brother Tom. I think his name was Tom. Sandy, Cindy, Mindy, and Tom. Shall we go to South Figaro? Right? Still need to shop. Shop, shop, shop. Like, no, gotta shop. Gotta shop. Gotta shop. Okay, well, we're doing it. I bought some stuff. I got fire dance. And now I'm gonna ride my little ship. Well, we'll find out. Gao doesn't know them, but Gao cares about them. Because they are his friends' friends. Mog. Mog. The least interesting scenario. Right, I'm playing with Edgar. Tara is not yet a huge powerhouse. Like she will be. Did that just not hit Edgar? Did it like hit him and he took no damage? Bye-bye. What is your important question, Chrono? How do I think Esper Terra feels? What do you mean by that? Do you mean, do I think that she is aware of things the way, Oh! Fuzzy! She's clearly fuzzy. Nah, she's fuzzy. I mean, maybe, but she'd be very soft. Well, I mean, but ducklings are like, they're feathers, but they're also fuzzy, you know? Like, they're fuzzy feathers. If you're wearing headphones? Oh, that's fantastic. Sorry. I've never realized that. That's exciting. I'm excited. Are you excited? I was a metronome. Yes, Chrono. Did you just just bust in here. You know, I want to be clear. I love this game and I love this translation, but there's a lot to criticize about this translation, which I have done and will continue doing. Like I said, it's an incredibly idiosyncratic translation. More than I think any other translation that I can think of. Probably the official Earthbound translation, but I'm not as familiar with the before and after of that. But I feel like this translation has someone's personal touch stamped all over it. And there aren't actually that many translated games like that. Like what are some other games that you could say that about? Because, like, the Mario RPG games, all of those the permutations, all the variations on Mario RPG, they have a lot of character and a lot of personality. They have a very unique way of being, but I feel like that's consistent in all of them and probably true to the spirit of the original games, the original scripts, where instead of it being like, this translator did this wacky thing to make this their own. In that case, they're just wacky games, and the translators did their best to convey the wackiness. Earthbound, I know, got localized more heavily than most games, which I think is part of why Earthbound worked better for me than Mother 3 did in a lot of places, because Mother 3, the version that I played, was a fan translation that did localization, but like so much of like the humor and the setup of things and stuff were still left in the original cultural like Japanese cultural way, which meant that a lot of the things that I as an audience am supposed to respond to didn't work on me because I didn't have those cultural touch points. That's not the way that I'm used to engaging with stories. That's not the kind of humor that I've grown up with, etc., etc. Whereas in Earthbound, they made a point of making it more accessible. And I'm not talking about characterization within the characters. I'm talking about the character of the translator. The translator's personality coming through in the way that they approach translating. Because there's a lot of games that have really outstanding characterization as far as the characters in the story. I could go off about that. But Mother 3 had a lot of things in it that weren't accessible, and it's not that I think that things need to be localized to the degree of like the Sailor Moon translation that we had when I was a kid, where what was it that they translated onigiri to was it cream buns or something like that? They did something ridiculous with that because the idea is that Americans can't handle encountering things that aren't like white American culture. And I'm not saying that is no, it's not meatball. It's meatball head instead of onigiri head. Well, that kind of makes sense though. But there's like literally they eat foods, and they translate the name of the food into something that they're like, oh, and Americans will know what this means, but they won't know what those other things mean. And that kind of awkwardness of localization is not what I'm talking about, but there are certain styles of humor, for example, that would fall flat if you don't have the cultural context for them. Like if you grew up without slapstick humor and you encountered slapstick humor in something, you would be really confused. Why is it funny that they're being hurt? Now, slapstick humor doesn't work on me. You have to pair slapstick humor with something else to make me think it's funny at all. I really hate slapstick. But if you had never encountered slapstick before, because you were in a culture that didn't have slapstick humor, like, it would be really weird. You wouldn't understand what was supposed to be funny about this. Is it supposed to be funny? And there are things in Mother 3 that I'm just like, I don't know how that's supposed to be funny. I guess it's supposed to be funny. I'm not sure whether it's supposed to be funny, which is always kind of awkward. And so when I streamed that, people kind of explained some of those differences. Okay, I feel that Ace Attorney is phenomenally localized. Granted, it has been a really long time and I watched it over someone's shoulder. But I thought that it was really wonderfully localized. It feels really full of life and natural. But yes, so Ted Woolsey has a distinctive approach. Like, I feel like I know what Ted Woolsey's sense of humor is like, based on the way things are in this, like the way this translation, and yes, the Chrono Trigger translation. And I don't know what else he translated. This is like the one that where he's most known for translating. He didn't translate 4, if I remember correctly. That was a a common misconception. I thought he translated 4, but he didn't. Right? Can somebody confirm that for me? Because I remember thinking that Spoony Bard was him, but it wasn't actually him. He's not actually the Spoony Bard guy. But oh gosh, I've thought about playing some of the Ace Attorney games on stream, because I've forgotten them mostly. No, Spoony is a perfect word. The meaning, the definition of Spoony. No, it doesn't mean love struck. It means like unnecessarily dramatic, and melodramatic and maudlin, which is correct. So it's not specifically love struck, at least not the definitions that I've seen before. But it makes sense because he's being he's accusing him of being like needlessly melodramatic and ridiculous, which is not incorrect. Edward is very, I am Edward, which is what Spoony is all about. But yeah, so that's a bit of a departure, and I don't know a whole ton about translating. I don't translate things. I really only know English. I've studied French, but I'm terrible at it. I'd like to try to learn French again, and I'd like to try to learn Japanese, and I'm told you can do that as an adult, but I would say that Final Fantasy VI is a Spoony game. More than 4. And that's why I love it. Bannon's like, come on, dudes, I'm Bannon. Well, that didn't go so well. See, like him saying I it's such a weird choice. That kind of attitude is deadly. Like, I understand what they're trying to say. It's a Spoony game. Alright guys, are you ready to see me fail at memory games? Whatever, that's his job. Don't make fun of him. His whole job is to be a secret go-between between your kingdom and the rebellion. So like, don't give me any of that. Don't talk about this like it's some sort of personal problem of Lux. Don't you dare insult my boy. I think I'm funny. I also really love Lock Cole. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have played the Game Boy Advance version. And like, you know, maybe I should go back and redo it from the beginning. And do the Game Boy Advance version so we can see the more beautiful translation that's much more deft, shall we say. It does a better job of conveying what it's trying to convey. Okay, you can't go back there. Okay. I thought maybe. I don't remember my way around things. Oops. So look at how bad I am with D-pads. I'm terrible. Oh, interesting, Stolen Light. I didn't know that. That's fantastic. What an interesting bit of trivia. I mean, it makes sense. Final Fantasy IV's translation has a lot of problems. Like, it overlooks the fact that Cecil and Kain were raised as brothers. And Cecil was the golden son, and Kain was always in his shadow, and they were raised by the king as his foster sons. That's slightly important. History and characterization. It explains so much about what goes on with Cain. It explains so much about Cecil's relationship with his king. So many things in that game. Like when you reevaluate them with that context, it makes so much more sense. Yes, Cecil and Cain are the king's foster sons. Right? Isn't that interesting? And doesn't that change everything, you know? Two brothers who... Oh, thank you, The Flash. Yay! Yeah, this stream is somewhat messier than my Final Fantasy X one. Yeah, Chrono. Yeah, it makes sense why Cecil becomes king. So you got these two brothers. If you think about them as two brothers, in love with the same woman, trying to get their foster father's approval, all of these things, and Cain gets second choice all the way through. And he finally is tired of it. Yeah, isn't that interesting? So that's in the original Japanese version of the game, and it's in at least one of the retranslations. But we didn't get any of that in our translation of the game. So as much as Ted Woolsey got some things wrong or did some weird things with this, I mean, we can thank him for Kefka, because I don't care what my sister says, I think Kefka is a fantastic villain because he's so interesting. He's so deranged but human, but not in the same way that Luca Blight is. And he's just so distinctive. Like, there's nobody quite like Kefka. There's just a lot of trying to be like Kefka. Also, there are totally people who draw fan art of Kefka and Hexadecimal from Reboot, because obviously they're the same kind of crazy clown. And I totally, as a child, was like, clearly these two are the same thing and should be friends. Yeah, same energy, yeah. I'm so glad that I blew Chrono's mind with that little bit of story stuff. I don't know that I would say Kefka is the #1 villain of all time. I do think he's outstanding. I love the fact that he succeeds at destroying the world. Like, how often does that happen? How many villains get to say that they just like... Chrono's still reeling. God, I'm trying to remember. So I didn't know that Reboot was Canadian, but it is. Okay, guys. I'm gonna do this really badly. Okay. Okay, first, second, around. Oh no. Are you ready for me to fail? Like, why is this in the game? I don't know. I don't want it to be. Okay. Doop. 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 Okay, I drew it with my fingers. Okay, I'm gonna try this. You guys think I can do this? Oh shoot, I was so close. It's the dark side of the Force. They're gonna show us what's up. Don't do that, dark side. Oh man, they're just taking damage for existing. Oh no, I loved Reboot. It was so cool. Alright, I can do this. It's because I didn't, that last little lump, I didn't go to the left and then up the middle. But otherwise I got it. Did you see? It's almost like if I actually try hard at a thing, I can do better. Okay, and then we go down and around here. No. Nope! That was a case of me and the D-pad. Alright, dark side. I understand that the D-pad and I aren't friends. But do you have to do this? They're like, yes, we do actually. We are programmed to do so. Yeah, no, it is really incredible Because it's not just that Kefka succeeds a little bit. Because there are times that, like, bad guys do kind of, sort of win temporarily. Like, a lot of times in stories you have your Empire Strikes Back moment, especially in the sequel, like the second of 3, the bad guys are winning. But in this case, like, he destroys the world. Okay, here we go. All right, we did it. Oh man, yes, no, I appreciated that Reboot was a little bit dark. Am I supposed to go in there? Probably. Hold on, we're gonna go do this. Third try. I would have gotten it on the second try too, but the D-pad and I aren't friends. Bow, 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 bow. That's the D-pad in me, in case you wonder why I can't do, Which, by the way, if you don't remember, from the beginning of the game, this is where Terra falls down, and then Locke comes and saves her, and then we save, we save her with a whole bunch of Moogles. So it actually makes sense that this is where the Moogles come from. It's such a great song. Oh man! So my friend Danny and I, on the Materia Collective album for Final Fantasy IX, did a version of the Moogle theme, because it also shows up in that game. And, like, it's a combination of a flute choir and a brass choir, whatever they call it, because Danny is part of Game Brass, so that's a brass quintet that works with a bunch of friends. And I do a lot of flute choirs because I am Lauren the flute. He did most of the arrangement, honestly. I don't remember. Let's take a look at this. Where are you, my Moogle friend? Put my flute down so I don't drop it. I have some of these marked with a pencil, and I don't know why. The battle theme, the decisive battle, the fierce battle, dancing mad, and then the aria is circled for some reason. Mog. Oh man, this is so many notes. Ah! Is it the grand finale version of this track that's wacky? I'm sorry, guys. This is just a mess. Anyway, there's a lot of notes and there's a lot of accidentals in particular, which is why it's hard. Kapo, 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 kapo. so wacky. So Muggles are in the older games, right? But they don't look like this. This is our first encounter with Muggles that look like this, or are they? Right? So my knowledge of Final Fantasies really starts with 4. And I know there's Muggles in Secret of Mana. So you're saying I don't get that treasure chest. Okay. Guess I'll be back. Did I do it wrong? I thought you could run into Mog. Did I miss him? Well. One-way doors. Oh, well, I talked to him. And he didn't say anything to me. Am I going the wrong way? I bet I'm going the wrong way. I want to go up and to the right, right? Right? Right. I did talk to him, but when do you get to name him Mog with not all caps? God, I love... Why are guitars so good? I don't know, but I love them. Down and right. Oh, okay, so I was going the right way. Okay. After Vector? All right. Hey, you think we're gonna get there? Should I play the Game Boy Advance version? Should I do that? Should we have a different translation? We're early enough in the game that I could play back through it and just not talk incessantly. Nah. All right. Well, we'll talk about some of the story things that are different. But mostly characterization. Well, right, but there is something interesting to like be like, wait, that's not what they usually say, but apparently my memory's not perfect anyway. I mean, spoiler, Lauren's memory is really awful. My life has gotten so much better since I've accepted that I have a bad memory and that I have to work around it. I used to have a semi-photographic memory when I was a kid. And so it's been really difficult to, well, right. But I'm not saying that I have to stream this version. This is the version that I know, and it's what I gravitated toward, and it's what I have on my computer, because this is, if I'm introducing someone to the game for the first time, this is my, this is like the game that I know better. But I feel like the Game Boy Advance translation might be a good thing to switch to. So hey, folks who are watching this, weigh in on what you think about that. And same, I guess, if YouTube is watching this. I don't mind making the switch. Arvin! Arvis. What's happening? It's funny to see the returners and things because that's the name of my band. Oh, we're gonna be in Texas. We're playing a show in San Antonio. We're playing a really cool show that our friends Bitforce are putting together. It's called Super Bit Fest. And if you are anywhere in South or Central Texas, you should totally come out. It is in March on the 14th, if that's a Saturday. Maybe it's the 15th. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you're talking to them, Kent. You are absolutely like the king of running really cool, really big local shows that have big things happening. So I'm glad that you guys are having conversations, even if also you're interviewing them. Because if anyone's like, I want to put together a cool event, I'm like, you should talk to Kent. So I'm excited to hear that. Yeah, no, it should be March 14th. Oh, is that Pie Day? I won't be able to pick a pie though. Darn. I went slightly berserk. Anyway, if you are in the vicinity at all, it's going to be a good show. And that way you can get away from South by. Our only hope. No, the music is incredible. The band Descendants of Erdrick, their Final Fantasy VI cover of this. Make sure that if you look this up, that you look up the new version and not the old version of the band that I was in, because that Final Fantasy VI cover does not have that song in it. But the current new, they've been around since like 2013 versus the version from like 2011. But they have a cover of this in their Final Fantasy VI medley, and they do a really good job, so you should listen to that. Oh Fortuna is a really good song. Dig an early grave. That's pretty close to saying die. Can you do that, Ted Woolsey? A decisive battle. That's the name of the music. Okay, I think the emulator glitched for a second there. The audio had some problems. Timo Insano, thank you for following. Yay! How can we be encouraging bloodshed? See, like, you can kind of read between the lines of what's happening here. Where you can tell, like, Arvis is like, we should join the returners, and the elder's like, no, but then we're gonna fight and we're gonna get hurt. And he uses a lot of contractions, probably due to, like, length restrictions. Mythic battle. So why is it that there is this trope of the super advanced previous society? Why is that a thing? Is this because we believe that we're going to destroy ourselves, and so do we? Because a lot of times the past societies, not necessarily in this game, but in other games, the like ancient past society like has a lot in common with our modern culture, and so I wonder if this is kind of the wide sweeping, long lasting fear that we will destroy ourselves with our technology in the way that so many of these games and books and movies and so on. Although I think it's particularly a thing that happens in games more than the others. I mean, spoiler, but Planet of the Apes kind of has that going on. Like thinking of like the ancient super powerful technology, which I think is the deal in the original Wild Arms. No, but the difference is Rome fell, but we don't like dig up old things from Rome that are long forgotten and half understood and have those still be more powerful than we are in modern society. So I wouldn't say that I don't feel that it's just that it's got anything to do with Rome. Because I feel like if anything, there's such a direct tie between Roman culture and like the history of Western civilization, that we don't look back and go, gosh, how did they do that? Wow, that was so incredible and so far beyond. I mean, maybe in the was it the Enlightenment? There was an era where they reconnected with classics, classical thought and classical history and so on. And maybe it's whatever that, maybe it's whatever that urge is, but modernized, like our new equivalent of that. Sorry, I popped my fingers. They've always been really popping me. So I think it's really, I don't know. It's an interesting trope. I think it says something about humanity that is something that we keep going back to. Because it's not just hubris. There's something about, because it's not just that their technology brought about their downfall, it's also we want their technology and look at how amazing they are. I don't know. Set mankind back 1,000 years. So that's another thing. The fall of Rome, I don't think set mankind back 1,000 years in the same way. Like the Dark Ages happened at some points, and those were kind of a step back. But I don't know though. To me, that doesn't seem like it's the same sort of thing. Interesting mixing metaphor soup. I haven't ever seen Castle of the Sky, so I don't know that. I know that Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is beautiful, and I've read a bunch of that and seen the movie, which is somewhat incoherent, but also beautiful because that's what happens when you try to condense a very, very long comic story into a single movie. Alright, here comes my party all gathering back together. Look, I made friends, Sabin says. See who's with you. Like, I'm really curious what the rest of the translation is like. Retainer to the Lord of Demo. When I was a kid, the only retainer I knew was the thing you put in your teeth. And so I was like, why? What? Yeah, no, Secret of Mana has a lot of the same elements. A lot of stories, JRPGs, but not just JRPGs, have that kind of thing. Yeah. I think Grandstream Saga, if you go far enough back, had them. Yeah, because when you fly around in your vehicle that's like a giant sentient floating tower, it's from he's from an ancienter society and things like that. So yeah. I mean, Star Wars definitely popularized the rebellion against evil empire in the form that we tend to think of it as. Gao is contributing to this conversation. Gao, that's an ow, woo, woo, I'm a dog, right? Isn't it Gao? Gao? Isn't that why his name is Gao? Isn't that an onomatopoeia for the sound that a wolf howl is? Wiped out. See, he's trying so hard, but he can't say we're killed. Yeah, anytime somebody has a pendant, it's going to be important. I mean, but you don't have to look at Joseph Campbell, and I actually think I have a lot of objections to the way that people talk about Joseph Campbell as though his hero's journey is the be-all, end-all instead of one particular path that one particular culture tends to use in some of its stories. I mean, it's valid to talk about those like narrative trends, but not everything is the hero's journey. Not everything needs to be the hero's journey. It's kind of like there are and I can't pronounce them, but there is a series of fairy tale story. There's a categorization system for fairy tales around the world, and it's fascinating because you have vastly different cultures across eras, and yet the fairy stories that they tell, the fairy tales, the folk tales, however you want to label that, a lot of them can be characterized, and there are some things that are weirdly specific and yet they keep recurring. And so studying why those things, I'm sorry, putting down my controller because we're not talking about this game. We're going to talk about storytelling. We're going to talk about fairy tales. This has nothing to do with Final Fantasy VI, but we're going there. Oh yes, that is true, Blue Glass. A lot of people try to make things fit the hero's journey unnecessarily, and it's bad. because there's kind of this worship of the hero's journey as this is truly what a story is, instead of this is one way that stories can be told, and here are some patterns that some stories historically and especially in the recent era fit, which is what it is. Like the hero's journey is like Joseph Campbell, it's one thing. Like I would say if we were to categorize stories the way it's the Milne Thompson categorization system for fairy tales, I think that Joseph Campbell's hero's journey would fall into, it would be one of many categories, one of many patterns that we could point out. Like one of the things that I find is most interesting in the fairy tale categorization system is there's something called the armless girl or the armless woman. For some reason, around the world, they're in completely unrelated cultures, completely independently of one another. They have these stories that have women losing their hands or losing their arms as a big part of what happens in them. And if you look at it, that kind of in a way is a physical manifestation of the loss of her power over herself and her power in the world. And those stories, if you actually look at them, that's what it's about. It's about a woman having her own power over herself and in the world stripped away, and then overcoming that or not overcoming that, and for whatever reason that tends to manifest in the loss of hands or loss of arms specifically, not exclusively but largely. And I think that's really interesting, and so that's kind of what the value of looking at these similarities is, asking why are these similar and what do these stories mean, and not in the looking for symbolism sort of way, but genuinely, like, what is the role that these plays? What is the value of this story? What does this establish or communicate and about the society that it arose in? No, but like, why the hands? Why the arms? How is that? That's awfully specific. Also, Fatulous Phase 123, hi and welcome. So I guess where I'm going with this. So part of the reason why I talk so much about this and think so much about this is as part of my grad school experience when I got my MFA in creative writing, because I'm that kind of a nerd. One of the things that I did was a research paper proposing a similar structure or system, in this case about robot stories, because I feel like artificial intelligence stories in their various forms are becoming increasingly prevalent and are very, very, very tied to how we as a modern society view ourselves and our relationship with technology, but not just in our relationship with technology. So I suggested a few basic categories that stories across mediums can fall into, because there is a lot of value to having that. And then you can have a conversation and you can say how interesting it is that these different groups of people independently of one another created these stories that all have these things in common because they're exploring these same things, and therefore these things are universal to explore. Anyway, long story short, if you ask me about Joseph Campbell, I'm gonna rant. But what else is new? You ask me a question or bring up a thing and words start coming out of my mouth, just words. So we wordsed about stories and storytelling and so on and so forth. I get poisoned everyone. We're actually legally allowed to say that without the head of America saying no. Although perhaps we should have put a space after the ... and put this on lines differently, but that's okay. Barbaric. But if we try to fight them, then they'll turn on us. And it's like, no, they'll turn on you anyway. See, like, and that's totally an argument that people actually make. If we don't get involved, they won't come for us, and we'll be allowed to remain a neutral party. And part of the point is, no. You can't remain a neutral party. That is not how it's gonna go. Right. So if we just sit down and behave ourselves and don't cause trouble and ask nicely and are polite and don't fight back, they'll let us be. That's absolutely how it will work. Spoiler, that is not how it works. So there's real world relevance to current events happening here. You can only be polite and negotiate politely and non-violently with people who respect that. You can only meet people where they're willing to meet you. And so you kind of have to ask yourself, what are your morals? What are your priorities? What are your ideals? What do you consider okay and not okay? What can you live with yourself doing or not doing? What will you compromise on? So this is why I'm not a pacifist. People often think I am a pacifist because I tend to take the pacifist route in games where it's available, and it comes naturally to me. It's like in Dark Souls, the feral, what are they called? The feral hollows, I think. If they're just sitting there bashing their face into the wall, I'm not gonna fight them because I'm not interested in fighting things for fighting things' sake. But for me personally, I believe that violence as a form of self-defense or defense of others is justified. I do not enjoy violence. I do not support violence. Violence makes me uncomfortable. The glorification of violence makes me uncomfortable. I can't watch John Wick, no matter how beautifully orchestrated it is or fascinating its world building is. I just can't, I can't enjoy the coolness of people getting killed excitingly. Like, that just doesn't work for me. But that doesn't mean that I eschew all violence. And part of that is because even though I do not like violence and I do not condone violence in most circumstances, and I would love to find non-violent solutions as much as possible, video games allow me to seek non-violence and follow non-violence. And I love that about them. That is one form of wish fulfillment and power fantasy with them, for me, is that games that allow me to find non-violent solutions. That's fantastic. So I think it's really interesting when there are games that don't allow for it, but they are intentionally not allowing for it, where you don't know for sure if it's going to work to ask for non-violence, as opposed to a game where you roll dice to see whether you charisma pointed enough to not have to fight something. I don't know. I find that really interesting because I feel like violence is not always avoidable. There are pacifists who say, my opinions about violence are non-negotiable, and there are no circumstances in which I will fall back on violence. No matter what the cost, I will not fight. And that is a decision. Could somebody cut that? There's a spammer. Somebody could remove the spammer. I don't know how to. I think I can do that. Hold on. Okay. Did that work? Okay. But yeah, so and I can respect a person saying, I am willing to die and let people around me die rather than choose violence. That is a decision that a person can make. I start to take issue when they make that decision for other people, but I respect that. I idealize that to some degree. We're just talking about things that aren't Final Fantasy VI, but you guys are here, so you know what you signed up for. And that's relevant. It's totally relevant. It's totally relevant. Yes. But so for me, I feel like I'm too pragmatic to be a pacifist. Because the thing is that you can't negotiate with bad guys, and I am not willing to accept the consequences of pacifism. Some pacifists make the decision that they are willing to accept those consequences to themselves and to others. and that is a decision one can make, is not a decision I would make. So no, Locke is actually agreeing with me too. And I feel like a willingness to violence is inevitable, or you will get wiped out. And it's a very pretty sentiment. And I would love for it to be able to be true. I would love to live in a world in which pacifism was a viable philosophy on more than just an individual level. I would love that. I don't believe we live in that world, and I don't believe it is possible for us to live in that world. And some people might say that makes me too much of a cynic. And maybe that's so, but I also have people tell me that I'm like needlessly idealistic in the way that I expect people to do better, and my interest in restorative justice. I don't know that I would quite go so far as that, Josmea. I don't think that you can make a conscientious objector. I don't think you can expect a conscientious objector to fight to save someone else. I do think a lot of problems can be addressed non-violently, but I don't, and I think that that's important, and that's why I push for things like restorative justice and people studying that. That's why I push for things like understanding the problem at its source, and addressing that source. Like, why do people do bad things? Well, it's not usually because people are bad. It's usually because something's gone wrong. So if we address what's gone wrong and eliminate the motivations for people to do wrong as much as possible, and make it harder for them to do wrong rather than punishing them, that's a better way to function. So I think that that's a good thing to keep in mind. I think that's a good goal. I want to encourage people to seek alternatives to violence as much as possible, to think about things holistically, because that is really important rather than just looking at an outcome. I think that it is essential that we ask ourselves why that outcome is the case. That's why when we played Earthbound and Mother 3, I went off on a rant about Pokey as an abused child, and how if somebody had somehow stopped that abuse early and intervened and given him the help that he needed, then not only might we have spared him suffering, but also the suffering of all the people. Because after a certain point, bad is being done, and you just kind of have to stop that from happening because people are being hurt, and you have to intervene and stop that. But it is possible that a lot of times you can, if you address the situation early enough, it doesn't get to that point. And I think that simplifying things down to a straightforward good and evil, simplifying things down to now you have done a bad and therefore you are bad, doesn't actually accomplish the end goal of minimizing harm. So I think it's important to talk about the complexities of situations and to resist the temptation to dehumanize people who commit evil acts. I think that's essential. Like, you don't have to love somebody who has done evil things. You don't have to forgive someone who has done evil things. But I think it's extremely helpful to recognize why that person did that, in case you can intervene and prevent other people from winding up in the position to do what that person did. So yeah. I think I would say that I am largely anti-war, but not a pacifist. If that makes sense. Because I think most wars aren't actually an action of self-defense. I think they're usually prompted by economic interests and so on and so forth. That's a whole other conversation. In the case of the world of Final Fantasy VI, the Empire is doing what empires do and trying to amass as much power as possible, clearly without regard for human life at all. Oh, Meta Knight. Okay, yeah. I have had like a lifelong like hero worship crush on Quakers, which have a lot in common with Mennonites in that regard. I think it's super cool. I read a book. So I was a small child during like the aftermath, the like early aftermath of like the end of the Cold War and the fall of the Berlin Wall. So some of the things from that era still kind of worked their way into my childhood. Like I have this book that's up there somewhere, I think, called The Big Book for Peace. And it has a lot of stories and illustrations by children's authors and children's illustrators of the time, talking about war and peace. And maybe this is part of why I have the opinions that I do, because that was an extremely formative thing for me as a kid. But they had a story, a biography about a Quaker conscientious objector who refused to participate in a war, despite being tortured. And for some reason, that really, really made an impact on little Lauren. So, yeah, it's interesting and it's complicated. In games like this, it's simplified in that the Empire, aside from Leo, who you kind of have to ask yourself, how on earth is a man of conscience involved with the Empire? Like, you kind of have to come up with justifications for why Leo is on that side, because it doesn't make sense unless you have like nationalistic pride blinding you to things. I mean, he definitely thinks he can kind of make it better from the inside to some degree, but like it kind of stretches believability that Leo remains part of the Empire, because the Empire is evil, unabashedly evil. So there's not really any ambiguity or complexity about the Empire. They're bad, and they're all bad, and opposing them is kind of the only thing to do. But it does illustrate that even if you don't want to fight, you kind of have to sometimes. Did the game go to sleep? Okay. Oh, it's because I clicked off because I had to ban the spammer. This is like the first time we've had a spammer in a really long time. I don't know if it's the time or if we have like a lot of viewers or just luck. I don't know who Erwin Rommel is. I'm not a history expert by any stretch. Yeah, he did grow up in the institution. But it, like, there are degrees. There are degrees of I can change the system from within. And then there's where we are here. And granted, at this point, Gestalt is still kind of pretending that he's not all evil. He's still kind of pretending that he's trying to white man's burden this whole world. He's still pretending that there are lines that he will draw. He's still pretending that Kafka is committing war crimes that he's going to get penalized for, instead of doing so with the approval, tacit or otherwise, of the emperor. So I guess maybe Leo thinks that it's not as bad as it is, and he thinks that it's a case of a few bad eggs, a few bad apples. Maybe that's the explanation, because it's apparent that Kafka poisoning Doma is a turning point, and there's a reason why Kafka poisoning Doma is what leads Celes, who literally grew up raised by the Emperor, or well, by the Empire, not Gestalt, but by the Empire. That Doma is the last straw for her. That's interesting. So there is actually a historical figure in that situation. How interesting. Because I know that there's a lot of people who committed evil acts because it was normalized, because it was expected of them. It was just a job. And it is incredible what people will allow themselves to do and turn a blind eye to, if they're in the right circumstances. God, okay, we're getting really real on this fun and lighthearted Lauren's favorite game stream. But no, like, I think part of why it is so important to not dehumanize the people who do terrible things is because you cannot think they are bad and that's why they did the bad thing. I think it's important to realize that it's possible you could do the bad thing too if you were in the right circumstances. So, yeah. And I guess this is relevant because I guess Final Fantasy VI does actually address some of these things, even if it's in a somewhat more simplistic black and white way. But I do really like that the situation with Doma, it is the this has gone too far. It is the now we are blatantly committing war crimes. Like, okay, there's other cities that we sacked. Like, we fought them fair and square and we charged in and kind of took over and we're jerks. But like, okay, you can kind of justify if you are an empire, then you want to expand your empire and maybe we want to bring them into the empire because we have superior technology and we're introducing our technology to them, which I think is one of the justifications. Again, that's kind of the white man's burden sort of thing, which is that, like, I, as a superior being with superior society, must bring my superior society and culture to these poor people, which is also why the word savage is a slur. Let's not use it. But I'm using it here kind of to illustrate. You see, but then when we get to Doma, a line has been crossed. It is the line Leo does not want to cross. It is the line that Celes does not want to cross. It is the line that people of conscience try to not cross and try to prevent the Empire from crossing. So, yeah, the Empire has shown up to fight you. Your neutrality will only defend you. Your neutrality will only postpone the inevitable that they will come for you. So rather than be neutral and hope that you will be safe, defend others as a means of defending yourself, if for no other reason. Such a good scene. Why should we trust her? And see, again, there's comedy to the seriousness of this scene, the fact that he throws Gao, and it's like, haha, he's overreacting. See, she torched Miranda. Isn't that an interesting detail? Celes, who drew a line and said, I refuse to take part in the poisoning of Doma. I cannot allow it. I cannot condone it. I will put my life on the line and I will die to not cross this line in the sand. Yes, mixing metaphor soup, we do. She talks about it in the basement in South Figaro when the guards are punching her. She's like, no, Kefka's gonna poison Doma. And they're like, whatever, we're gonna punch you in the stomach and beat you up because whatever. No, she didn't torch it. Celes has never been enslaved. Celes does things of her own free will. Terra participated under the influence of the slave crown. But Celes, as an imperial general, led the army to take over these cities and invade them, and there was violence and blood and death and fire. No, she talks about Doma. She specifically references that Kefka's gonna do something to Doma when she's in that scene in the basement when they're punching her. And so, like, the implication kind of is that she's not necessarily comfortable with some of the actions leading up to that, but that's the point when it gets to be too much. So, fun fact, when we were writing Project Esper, one of the things, obviously Celes is one of my favorite characters, but one of the things I really wanted to dig into is the moral situation of having been raised to be a soldier and a general your whole life. And being asked to commit acts that aren't really okay and realizing that you're not okay with them and trying to stop them and then outright trying to sabotage them. And kind of like how you eventually get to the point where you're like, no, I won't do this anymore. which is a thing that like a lot of stories explore, the person who's like, no. So she wasn't immediately imprisoned for treason because of Miranda. But I think that was one of the factors that contributed. Yeah, no, I think I'm trying to remember what we'll talk to Miranda when we get to Miranda. We'll talk to those people. But I think at that point, you know, we go into it with this like we are going to bring civilization and technology to these lesser cities, these lesser populations, because they're kind of city states. And so she's kind of going with it. And she's like, you know, we're fighting them because they're fighting back, because we're just trying to civilize them and they're fighting back. But I feel kind of gross about that. Like, maybe we shouldn't do this. And then Kefka's like, I'm going to wipe out Doma. And she's like, okay, no, that is just not okay. So... No, but she defects before Kefka poisons people. She is trying to stop that from happening when she gets arrested for treason. So I think that Miranda contributes to that decision for her. I think that a series of things, she starts being made increasingly uncomfortable. And then she finds out that Kefka is planning to do that and is like, this won't do. I must stop this. And they're like, actually, treason. Like, I think that the way we were interpreting it, the way that we decided to make it make sense is that she attacks Kefka to try to stop him. And that's viewed as treason. So either way, I love Sully's. And Edgar's like, hey, man, we're talking about politics and war here. Are you still hung up on your dead girlfriend? Because this might not be the time, Locke. And Locke is like, no, it is always the time for my personal drama. And Cyan is like, I'm surrounded. I'm surrounded by Imperial defectors. What am I going to do? Defectors. He's just having a crisis. But you look at Terra. And she's clearly not the evil Imperial General that we can think Celis is. Yeah, and I think that's a reasonable way to think about it too, Stolen Light. Now, Sophie, we're not gonna talk about the creepy basement taxidermist. I love Locke, but yeah. But this is an interesting thing, that like not everybody who gets involved with these things is evil, and they may be complicit in evil, and then you have to kind of decide how you're going to handle that. I don't know that Cyan is necessarily used to thinking of morality in black and white terms. I think that his entire family was just brutally killed by people affiliated with them. So I think it's less that he has an overly simplistic way of looking at things and more that he's being ruled by his emotional situation, which is completely understandable in his situation. But that's also why conflicts of interest on juries are relevant, because those people shouldn't be making a decision about what to do next. Because as valid as their emotions are, unless you are interested in revenge, you shouldn't be led by that. You should be focusing more on justice. So, yeah. Cyan should probably not be determining whether Celis and Terra are guilty, is what I'm saying. He should not serve on their jury for their crimes. Terra's crimes are not her fault. She was being controlled, and that's unambiguous. Like literally being controlled. With Celis, it's a little bit more complicated, but there's also the whole, like, she was raised by them and is a young person who is basically breaking out of brainwashing. So yeah, that got real, didn't it? The Empire cometh. Why is that how you translated it, Ted? Huh? Why is that, Ted? Why is that the case? Is this supposed to be a reference to something, or is this trying to make it feel serious? Because the folks in Narshe sure don't talk like that. Or is that like a line that was accidentally translated with the thought that it was from Doma? Yeah, it sounds like a cyan line or a Doma line or something. There's a bunch of lines like that in Suikoden too. Yeah, I've heard horror stories about translating it that way. Such a good song. I'm sorry, I'm just distracted by this music. Like, yes, we can talk about the game and play the game and talk about other things. Or we can listen to this song. This is Troops March On, right? So Kefka has a bunch of exclamation points to indicate that he's crazy. Exterminate! That's pretty kill them. That's pretty close to like death and killing. Nintendo of America. But yeah, so Kefka's gonna commit a war crime. Kefka, don't do war crimes. Kefka's gonna do a war crime. Dispose of any who oppose us. Yeah. And I love that he is a more interesting, like, I love that Ted Woolsey chose to go full nutcase with him because his sprite movements like work perfectly. He's just like jumping up and down, making faces, freaking out, which is great. See, we have no choice. Let's make ready for war. If you had prepared in advance. Watch me fail this after I talk about it not being so bad. We're going up after it. Edgar's like, okay, so I know we've got other things going on, but maybe let me try to be a good friend and prevent Locke from being a dum-dum. And Solis is just like, why are you even talking about this? And this is so interesting. They don't have very many, actually, conversations just between the two of them. And that's a thing that I would love to expand upon. If I were to write Final Fantasy VI, I would expand on this particular relationship because I think it's so interesting. Yeah. Terra's like, I'm not interested in violence or magic. I want to know what love is. I want love. Because when has Terra ever experienced love at this point? As an infant, barring that, when? She is love-starved. Like, Celis is like, I'm not a love-starved twit. That's not the kind of love that Terra is starved for, but Terra is definitely starved for love. So this is kind of establishing like their different priorities where like Celis is kind of trying to meet her where she is, but Celis has been raised as a soldier. Terra hasn't really been raised in the same way. Yeah, no, I think that's probably a really good point of the direction of where this conversation is going, where Celis is like, hey, we have this in common, and Terra's like, cool, can you explain why this is? And Celis is like, what even? Because Terra is on this quest for self-discovery. Celis is not at this point. Yeah, and I do like that Celis, like, I like this exchange. Like, fine, use your own eyes, then decide. Like, you just, like, hear the way that she responds. Oh, so good. Because it's short, but it should be. And it's so powerful. She's like, I don't need you to like me. I just need to stop this war crime from happening. I love her. I'm sorry, I do. I think she's a great character. She's got actual complexity and depth, and I think she really deserves to be the hero of the second half of the game. And I think that she and Terra are really interesting ways to explore the world differently, because there are a few similarities in them, but so many differences. Oh, I don't have sprint shoes on. Save! We're gonna save. I want to save over one of these, but I guess it doesn't really matter. It's not like I can do anything else at this point. I can't go and level the rest of the party, so we'll just have to hope that I'm strong enough to do it, friends. Do you think I can do it? Should we save? We should probably save. Let's do it. All right. Taking matters into our own hands. No. Bum, ba, 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 bow. Sorry. Sorry, we're not even listening to that song right now. All right. I don't remember this being that hard. But I guess it must have been. I'm sorry that you can't talk to them, but I guess in the interest of being efficient here. Oh, I love you, Sullies! I love you so much! Oh, she's in the best. Okay. I love you too, Locke! Okay. Alright. Best character. Oh, I should probably relic. Oh, I guess you can't sprint shoes here. Running shoes? Am I getting those confused again? Oh, why doesn't it heal my party? What the heck, game? What the heck? Why doesn't it heal my party? Why doesn't it do that? I disapprove of this. This is when we look with disapproval about this turn of events. Well, I guess I better heal my party with some tonics or something like that. Why did they do that? How are we doing, Edgar? Edgar's fine. How are we doing, Sabin? Sabin's fine. We stayed in like every inn. How are we doing, buddy? We're good. How about you? Also good. Bum, ba-da-da-da, bum, ba-da, bum, bum, bum. Oh. Okay. Oh, ha! It switches you back to Terra. Alright. Sure. Why not? Let's do this. Shall we do this, friends? Shall we do the Battle of Narshe? Prepared? Are we prepared? Are we gonna do it? Alright. Alright, friends. Alright, what are you gonna tell me? Okay, yes, I know that. Alright, 4 and 3 groups. Okay, so there are 2 legitimate strategies here. We can either try to divvy things up fairly and put a couple of good people in each team, which is what you do when you have to go through an entire dungeon. Or we just have one big team and they just go hit everything. Because none of my people are under-leveled at this point. It's not like I have, like, Realm who's been, like, collecting dust forever, or Umaro who, like, never gets used, literally ever. Well, at this point, all your characters are legitimately useful to some degree. Should definitely divide the girls up, because Sullies can cure at this point, right? So we've got 2 cures. Divide the girls up. we could even have... Sabin is so good. Like, the dream team for me is always Locke, Celes, and Figaro Brothers, but you could sub Celes out, or Terra out for any of those characters and you're good. Who counts as the thous? You think I'm gonna put the girls like that? Yeah. Group attack. Group attack. Just don't fight anybody. Please don't die. No. I need somebody tougher. These are both back row characters right now. I think he is. Maybe he's not. No, he is. No. That's not any better. I guess the bros can just be bros. Celes can tough it out with this. Yeah, but having a healer is handy. This is why I would stick her here potentially. Yeah. That seems ideal, and then just like don't fight anything with these two. Sorry guys. Get used to that. These are my 5 favorite characters in the game. They are also my 5 favorite characters to use. Yeah, Stolen Light, that makes sense. And Team 3 is just, sorry buddies. They're strong enough to hopefully not die if they accidentally wind up in an encounter, but usually I take an aggressive stance here. Alright, let's see how this goes. Okay. Oh, I never steal from anyone. I feel like stealing is just annoying. So, my favorite characters tend to be the thieves. I never steal. Ever. Yeah, I like Gao as a character. Like, I find Gao interesting as a person, and I'm really not into any form of blue magic. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in Berserk characters, so I don't care about the dances. I don't care about just Umaro, never. I don't find Gao interesting. As far as like making it so that you don't have to choose what to do because they autopilot, Blue Glass, that's what you're supposed to do. That's the way that this game intends for you to do it. It's a lot of dudes, actually. It's more dudes than I remember. Alright, let's do this. Hold on. Did I not get enough? Okay, so you can't go fast here. Okay, you're here. Okay. I never use Strago. But I also, again, I don't like blue magic. Auto crossbow! Just kill everybody! Kill all the bad guys! I'm a pacifist! Oh, sorry. Come on, Sabin, don't let me down! Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oops, hit that twice. No, don't kill Terra! kill like everything here, sorry. D-pad, yes! Tara's in the back. Okay, this is right. I thought she was in the back row. Oh, Locke. Oh, right, okay. Sorry, guys. Oh, she's not? Okay, well, we'll put her there. I mean, I guess I could use magic here, but... Okay, well, I thought she was in the back row. Oh, I guess I should probably heal my party. Okay. I mean, what else am I gonna use my magic for? Use your magic to fry the enemies, Lauren. Also, don't let Locke die. I'm good at strategizing. I'm a strategic Lauren. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, shoot! Forgot that I had that equipped. Well, that's okay. Whatever. We're good. We're good. All's good. Yes, no, Sully's is very elegant and graceful and cool looking. No! Don't kill him! Don't kill him! You notice how this song has Tara's theme in it? Oh, darn it. Okay. Okay, well... you're gonna fight, and you're going to cure the party. Don't die! No, don't die! Don't let him die! Don't let him die! Please don't let him die. I think she's missing health. She might not even be. No, she is. Okay. I guess it's not setting on fire. God, Locke! Why are you always dying? Welcome to Locke. He's my favorite character. I love him dearly. He's gonna die. He died! Don't die, Locke! Oh my god. I'm gonna die. Right, okay. Don't kill him or her. Don't kill my party. I love them. Don't let them die. Don't die. No! Locke is being dramatic as usual. Yeah, go Sullies! Oops, hold on. No, 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 no! Don't, where do you think you're going, you jerk? I'm not ready for this fight, but that's okay. Item, potion on you so you don't die, and then potion on her so she doesn't die. Oh, yeah. Ice them. Doesn't that mean kill? I mean, I guess that's one way of doing it. No, don't die! That's okay, Locke is gonna heal her. Potion, I probably should have bought more, but I didn't. Alright, Sullies, you're gonna just ice them. Ice! Oh man, alright, well, I'm gonna roll with that. Is this gonna do it? Not for all of them. Oof. Okay, I think we're alright. They're not countering all of these moves, so we're okay. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do this. The brown guys are harder, right? Are they the ones with dogs? Okay, hold on. I might regret this. Hopefully not. No, don't hurt my party. Okay. Oh, and Magitech armors. Okay, alright. That was probably unnecessary, but I did it. No! Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take a moment. No, I'm okay. I got this. Right, Terra to back row. Forgot that. Okay. Alright. Fidor. Edgar's in the back row. Okay. Oh my god. So good. So good. Why am I not just killing everything with this? With these two? Or these three? Let me just fire dance you all. Why am I not just fire dancing everything? Hold on. Right, this is what I usually do here. Oh, those guys are going that way. That's not acceptable. Okay. Okay, well. Oh, I should have hit the dog. Well, it's fine. We got this. We got this. We're good. Oh my god. Terra's here. Don't poison Terra too. It's okay, she's got her gas mask on. Okay, so the dogs are apparently resistant to being poisoned. Okay, sorry guys. Terra's providing moral support. So a lot of this can actually... Oh, hopefully these two don't die. Alright, you can do this. You can do this. Okay, fight the dog. Don't die. Oh god, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. Set them on fire. He's gonna die. Don't die, Locke. I need you to not be dead, friend. Fight the dog. Dog is dead. Do these guys hit back? No. Okay, cool. Excellent. We got this. Yay! Sully's got a level. Okay. Alright. Bounty man! Bounty man! Hit the dog. Set them on fire. Ice. Set them on ice. Okay, we're gonna have to heal the party after this. No! Don't die, Locke! Okay. Don't. Yes. Okay. Wait, did a guy go past? No, they didn't. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do this. Okay, hold on. No. Cure the party. Fight the dog. I'm so glad she's got that. I should probably have equipped people with better relics. I'm a little concerned that some guys snuck past me and might get up to Bannon, which is problematic. No, I don't use my third team. Not if I can absolutely avoid it in any way. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll fight these guys. It's gonna be bad. Okay. Which raid should I do with Gao? I don't use Gao. Sabin could probably solo the entire thing. This is why we leveled up with Sabin. I don't use Gao. I don't have Stray Cat, or I would just use Stray Cat, but I don't have it. Whisper's a good one? Okay. I can do that. Oh, I'm floating. Yeah. Cool. Bam, 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 bam. Sure. He's Fidoer than the other Fidos. Okay, in hindsight, these two are okay. Maybe we'll go. Maybe we'll take out another dude. Bam, 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 bam. Yes! Thank you, Locke! I love you, Locke. You're my favorite. No! Don't die. Okay, Locke, you're gonna heal her now. Like a good boyfriend, you're gonna take good care of your girlfriend. She's not your girlfriend yet, but she will be. Locke will protect her. Locke will help. Locke is helping. Okay, we'll fight these guys. Okay. No? I don't know what I just did. Oh, I turned off his turn. I forgot that that button did that. Well, that's okay. We've got this. We got this. Okay, this team is... We're fine. We're fine. Why was I worried? What was I worried about? I wasn't worried. This is why I'm not accustomed to thinking about the Battle for Narshe being hard. Hit the dog. Hit the dog. Poison the dude. Poison the dude. Oh, hey, Brian. What's up? Okay, look, Undyne is just, as it turns out, a fight with a Gitaru Man fight, but easier. All right, I guess I should let them do this if I'm gonna send the Figaros after Kefka. Should I send the Figaros after Kefka? Maybe I shouldn't, actually. I don't know. Hit the dog. No? No, Sully's, I know you want to keep you and your boyfriend from dying. And if he's not your boyfriend yet, he will be. But... Yes! Okay, you're going to heal yourself. Yeah. Okay, hold on. So at least you're going to use this. Oh, that's right, you're visiting Frederick, aren't you? Yay, Locke got a level. He's marginally less useless. Okay, well we'll send the Figaros. Oh no! What am I gonna do? Pincer attack! Oh shoot, we're in trouble. Don't die, don't die, don't die, hit the dog. Okay, magic. Oh shoot, I'm out of magic. Elixir? Right? I'm in trouble. Sorry. I freaked out. Ether, that's it. Hit the dog. There goes the dog. Ether? Okay, we're all right. Oh, that's cool. I thought you were staying with Frederick the whole time. Okay, hold on. So there's no more dudes coming down, right? All right, let's blast a couple of dudes with these guys since apparently we're fine. All right, so it turns out that I am actually using my third party. Because it turns out that Locke and Sully's aren't as overpowered as the Figaro brothers, who don't even need Tara there, but she'll be helpful in the boss battle. I am still streaming. Oh shoot, it's after 5. Okay, well we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this, we're gonna fight the boss, and then we're going to save, and I'll shut down. Okay. Oh, that's really cool, Brian. How did that happen? Should I go kill this dude with this? Right, I should fight the dude with these guys because these guys are doing just fine against the dudes, and then go fight Kefka with the Figaros. Oh, take the Figaros to this? Oh, is he? Okay. I don't remember him. Okay. I mean, like... Alright, we're good. Oh, I could put Setzer in the... or Sabin in the back row, too. Okay. Shall we? He looks like he's an over-enthusiastic dum-dum instead of actually scary. Like, he's like, gotta protect the boss, gotta protect the boss, gotta protect the boss. But he's not actually. He's actually just protecting the boss. All right, guys. Shall we do this? Are we ready? Are we ready to fight the fight? And by the fight, I mean this dude. We gonna fight this dude? Dude! Oh, he's mounted. All right, let's do it. Ryder? Dude! Darn it! We're gonna fire dance because I can guarantee that I can reliably fire dance. I don't think I've ever done this without having fire dance, and as you can tell, I do fire dance a lot. Oh, thank you, Sabin! You're my hero! Ah, Sabin is the best. Magic? Maybe. Nope. Nope. Wrong button. I guess I should probably... I guess I'll heal Sabin. What do you think? Shall we go fight a Kafka? Yes, this is. I stream early on Wednesdays now because I started doing it for my birthday and everyone was like, sure, let's finish Final Fantasy VI. And so today we talked kind of about pacifism and war and narrative categorization and stuff. Sabin did get so strong from carrying the whole party. Yeah, he's really good. He's so good. Let's do it, Kefka! Now Terra's gonna do stuff. Okay. You're technically made of bio, right? Let's see how this goes. Wow, Tofi, that's impressive. I always get it over with early. Oh no! I mean, maybe I should Aura Bolt, actually. Maybe I'll try to Aura Bolt. I can reliably do this, and I can't reliably. Oh, he's magic resistant? Okay, well, we'll just switch to the auto crossbow then. Oh! Right, okay, then I guess we'll do that. I mean, I guess we might as well cure the party. Why not? Oh shoot, you killed Edgar. How did you kill Edgar? Why did you kill Edgar? I don't approve of this. It's not okay with me. Okay, no, item. D-pads and I are not friends. The problem is that I don't hit left enough on the D-pad for Aura Bolt to happen reliably, but I know this now, so. Don't kill me. Okay, I'm living dangerously and I accept this. I'm gambling with Edgar's life. No, don't you dare. Okay, we're good. We got this. Come on, come on. No! I didn't left over enough. Left. Just like... I mean, it's a bass line, but also a distorted electric guitar. Such a good song. So this is what I think of when I think of the Battle with Narshe. I just think of like fire dance constantly and everything's fine. It's never been hard. Ha! Although I didn't even fire dance Kafka, really. Well, that's what you've done wrong, clearly. Okay. There's a thing that I can do here, right? What's the thing that I can do here? What's the thing I need to do? There's something I need to do here, right? Oh no, this... Terra's freaking out. Yeah, I imagine so, Stolen Light. Sorry, I realized I'm a little loud into my microphone. Yes, Aura Bolt definitely did more damage there. Okay. See? It's a reversal of what happens later on. Tara is not okay with this. Nobody else is okay now. I love how Gao is just like hanging out there by one hand. He's got this, he's fine. See, like, why is it Tara and the Esper? Why is it not Tara and the Esper? What an interesting decision. Why localize it that way? Why is that? Okay, mixing metaphor soup. That's what I was thinking of. Oh my god, this song is so pretty. I inflicted this on my flute for you guys before, didn't I? Sorry, I realized that was really loud in the high octave, but it turns out that the part that I have, the way that I have this memorized is in that top octave, because that's what it fits in the song. That's what, I did a cover of this, didn't I? Pretty sure I did a cover of this on my YouTube channel. I should do more Final Fantasy VI covers. I'm gonna do Terra's theme at some point. I just have to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm sorry, Dosmea! I realized that, and I kind of tried to back up. Anyway, yeah. My apologies to everybody who just got deafened by that. Yeah, I guess a text box sort of thing to make it not have more lines. What is this feeling? I'm not quite sure what Tritalk looks like, but... Good night! I'm going to be shutting down after this as well, so... We went late. Poor Tara, she's like absolutely desperate. Cause like nobody's really asked her what she wants. Nobody's really given her a place at this point. Oh, is he like a Quetzalcoatl type creature? A bird snake? Did we already talk about that? No, we didn't. Okay, that's something different. But I mean, Tara is just like desperate for something. Like she's been kind of floating around trying to regain her memory, trying to regain her sense of self, surrounded by these people who are doing political machinations, and she doesn't really understand anything. She kind of knows, okay, I'm part of the Empire, but like she's like dying of thirst for something, anything to hold on to. She's desperate. Like, she doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know where she belongs. She doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know what she feels. She doesn't have any relationships with anyone that we know of prior to meeting the party. And a lot of the people in the party are kind of interested in what they can use her for, even if their intent is good and they don't mean to dehumanize her. Like, so she has no identity. She has no friends. She has no memory. She has no background. She has nothing. She's just kind of being led around by people trying to figure out what's going on. So when you think about it, the fact that she's just ignoring everyone else right now, I think makes sense. Like, this is a really powerful moment for her. And like, Sully's is still a little bit clinical, a little bit distant. I can feel its mind. And like, they're kind of trying to watch out for her because they're worried about her. But they don't know what's going on, and they don't understand where she's coming from either. No, it makes perfect sense that she loses control here and goes screaming away, which is what that sound is supposed to be. She pushes everyone out of the way and is like, no, I need this. I need this. Tell me who I am. Give me something. Give me something to hold on to. And she just flies aimlessly through the sky. She has feelings. Her story up till this point is sad. But then she has friends. And then she makes a family. And in the end has a very good ending. Well, Locke has had conversations with her kind of about her, and he's kind of been like, don't let anybody use you. So I do think Locke has been in her court. And Celes was trying to be like, hey, so we have some things in common. Let's, like, connect. Hey, I've never talked to you, really. But, like, Edgar, even when he flirts with her, like, Edgar hasn't really engaged her. Bannon didn't engage her. Cyan obviously didn't, and the rest of Sabin's friends, but, like, yeah. See, it's, like, kind of unnecessary in a way for these to be the first two characters that we see and for them to interact with each other here. But canonically, it's canon that they're together. Also, hi, Nick. She changed into a something. She looked like an Esper. And Locke is just like, what? Edgar's like, what's going on here? Anyway, he like looks at them. He's like, Anyway, let's talk back about business. Witnesses saw her screaming across the sky. Yes, yes, Locke, we know. Edgar's like, I know that the rest of you guys aren't political figures, but I am, and there's a war going on. I'd like to think that, I mean, because Cyan doesn't challenge Terra, and she says, and when everyone's like, we have to get along with her, I'd like to think that Cyan is able to look at Terra and see a haunted, lost, scared young person. Figaro Castle can shuttle us to the Western Province. So, can I just bring my favorite characters? I'm trying to remember what happens here. Like... do I need to leave them here? Is it basically bring the characters you want, right? Doesn't matter. These other two, they can just chill here, right? These are definitely the figures that I shouldn't leave here to get involved with politics. Although actually, like, I think it makes sense for someone from Doma to be around to talk to the people from Narshe. And be like, hey, I know you guys wanted to be neutral, but, the Emperor is really bad. You know how they just attacked you? That's not gonna stop. Alright. Why would anyone not pick this party? I don't know. Let's go save. Ha! Ha ha! He's not actually bad in combat here. Goodness. Okay, so this is the first time you can walk freely around Narshe, if I remember correctly. Steampunk. Yes! I mean, why would you ever not bring Locke and Celes? Also the Figaro Bros. Yeah, that makes Locke slightly more useful, or slash less useless. I don't remember who has it. Collingen. Yes. Oh, Oh, we get to see the Edgar and Sabin scenes. Oh my god, next stream is gonna be so good. I'm so excited. Sorry. It's like a whole bunch of really good stuff. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let's go stay at the end. Because, like, Cyan is interesting. Cyan, like, we've seen Cyan's interesting story, and Gao never really gets dug into yet. Or never really, like, they don't really do much with Gao. He's mostly comic relief. I mean, these characters plus Terra are the emotionally developed characters consistently throughout the game. Setzer's also interesting. We're gonna go out here and we're gonna save, and then I'm gonna have to shut down because I gotta go to a thing tonight. I am going to go to a group, a writers reading hosted by some of my grad school classmates. I'm very excited about it. I can get involved with the science fiction and fantasy writing scene in Toronto. 7 games emotional development or punching. Okay, so next week we will be starting late, somewhere between half an hour and an hour late because I have a meeting for work at 2 my time, but it'll probably go until 2:45 and I'll start up after that. So yes, Setzer is interesting. There are more than 0 scenes with him, and that's really more than can be said for Gao. Oh man. Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen that Stolen Light. I might have to do that again at some point. Yeah, so thank you all so much for joining me. I know that this has been a weird and different stream. I don't know. I feel like this stream has been different from how they usually are, or more so, or something like that. So tomorrow we'll be playing more Kentucky Route Zero. So tune in if you want to see that. Thursday. Tomorrow we're gonna do Kentucky Route Zero. Tuesday we're gonna continue to do Twilight Princess. Oh, I have to do another more Trapped Desert. That's gonna be hard. I guess so, Chrono. And then we're gonna keep this going on Wednesdays. Apparently, this is a thing we're doing. And there is a week in March that we're gonna take off streaming. Maybe it's 2 weeks, but we might be able to stream this game. My laptop might be able to handle that. Thanks, seriously. Yeah, that's the advantage of having a stream that's earlier in the day, is that I don't have to worry about annoying people by playing my flute. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down. I will see you guys. I guess we'll continue with this version instead of doing the Game Boy Advance translation, unless everybody is like, we'd really like to see that because we like it better. It is objectively a superior translation, but this is the translation that's like etched into my soul and heart. So yeah, take care, and I will see you folks later. Bye!